So, guys, we've been talking about adding and subtracting fractions with like and unlike denominators. And as we've seen, there are a few different steps in adding and subtracting fractions. But if you go about your steps, you'll get the correct answer every time. And even if you don't get the correct answer, show your work because that'll let your teacher know that you do know the right steps. You might have just made a simple error somewhere. So we're going to continue our look into adding and subtracting fractions here. So we're going to mix it up a little bit today. We're still doing adding and subtracting fractions. We're just going to do it at the same time. So this'll keep you on your toes a little bit. So 2/5 plus 3/4. Alright. So our first step, we got to find a CD or common denominator. Very good. So our common denominator in this case, this is going to be a little different than what we've done so far. So we've got 5 and we've got 4. So let's list the 5s. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 6 is 30. And as I said, you can usually go to a multiple of 6. You can go further if you like, but I find if you go to a multiple of 6, you'll be fine. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. And 4 times 6 is 24. So, look what we got here. We got a 20 in common. And this is our first number that we got in common, so this is our least common multiple. Now, if you do more multiples, you'll get other things in common. Like, for instance, 5 times 8 is 40, and 4 times 10 is 40. So 40 would be another common multiple. But our least common multiple is the first one that we come to, which is 20. Alright. So what we're going to do equals, we're going to put 20 for this fraction and 20 for this fraction. And I'm going to erase my CD because we already found that means common denominator. Plus, okay, so 5 times 4 is 20. So we have to multiply the top by 4. 2 times 4 is 4 times 1, 4 times 2. 2 times 4 is 8. And then 4 times 5 is 20. So 3 times 5 on the top is 5 times 1, 5 times 2, 5 times 3 is 15. So, do we add our denominators? No, never. We bring your denominator straight down and we add our numerators. 8 plus 15 is 23. Now, we'll get to changing that to a mixed number later in a different video, but for now, you should know that that's how you add fractions with different denominators. And that was a little different than we've done previously because neither of these denominators are multiples of each other. And you'll see what I mean in a little bit. Alright, so let's try another one. This time we'll do a subtraction. 7 over 8 minus 2 over 5. Alright. So this time, we have uncommon denominators, unlike denominators. So we're going to find the LCM for both of those numbers. So we're going to say 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 8 is 40. Okay. So now we're going to do our 8s. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is 40. So look, our least common multiple, or our common denominator, is 40. The first common multiple that we got to is 40. So we're going to put 40 for the denominator of both of them. And then we're going to ask ourselves, 8 times what is 40? Well, 8 times 5 is 40. So we have to multiply the top by 5. 7 times 5 is what? 35, right. And 5 times what is 40? 5 times 8 is 40. So that means we do the same to the top. 2 times 8 is 16. Alright. So now we have a little bit of a challenging problem. We bring our denominator over, which is 40. And now we've got some. I would do this for every problem, whether you know the answer or not. We do our side work over here. 35 minus 16. And as you can see, we have to regroup here. We make that a 15 and that a 2. 15 minus 6 is 9. 2 minus 1 is 1. So our answer would be 19 over 40. So that is the basis for adding and subtracting fractions. However, in our next video, I'm going to show you a little bit of a trick with adding and subtracting fractions. I mean, you're still going to have to do the work, but as you get more experienced in math, you'll learn the shortcuts, which aren't really shortcuts, but they just make solving these math problems all the easier. So until next time, guys, learn your multiplication facts. I can't tell you how important that's going to be. And stay safe. Cough into your arm. And I'll see you next time.